Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight we're going to be hanging out for about an hour and a half. We are going to be talking about a lot of different topics and, well guys, no positivity tonight. I'm sorry. There's a lot that's happened over the past 2 days that I haven't gotten to cover in videos or live streams yet that I do plan to talk about obviously today and then tomorrow, and geez, there's just nothing good happening on the internet the past few days. I've been looking, I tried, but I couldn't find anything. So tonight we are going to talk about Disney and Marvel facing massive backlash for using Chadwick Boseman's Twitter account to promote Wakanda Forever. Now, this is a situation that we've seen in the past, unfortunately, when actors, directors, producers, etc. pass away. It happened with like Stan Lee. We saw Stan Lee's Twitter and social media accounts be used to promote NFT projects and to promote movies. We've seen that happen over the years. And now they are using Chadwick Boseman's accounts to promote the next Black Panther movie. And of course, a lot of people are very upset by that. They think it's pretty disgusting. And I have to agree. I obviously, it's a little bit of a difficult situation because if maybe his family members decided, you know, this is what we want to do, this is how we want to utilize these accounts, maybe, you know, I'd feel a little bit more okay with it. But of course, family members have not come out and said, you know, this is what we really plan to do, and this is what we want to do, and this is a way we want to carry on his legacy. So I have to agree with the backlash. We're going to be talking about KOTOR. Oh, this was just announced a little while ago, guys. I've talked about the Knights of the Old Republic remake several times on the channel because we first heard about the announcement. We were very excited. And then we heard that Sam Maggs, a wild SJW in the gaming industry, was part of it. She was a writer, and then we got very disappointed. And then we found out that she quit. She says she quit. Maybe she was fired. Who really knows? There's been a lot of firing with this project. But now they have delayed the game indefinitely because of studio shakeups. But it looks like a major reason is because they fired the game's art director and design director at the beginning of the month, which we had absolutely no clue about until today. So things are not looking positive in terms of the KOTOR remake. We're going to be talking about Masters of the Universe, another topic I've covered a lot on this channel. And we know that they're doing a season 2/part 2 to Masters of the Universe Revelation. It is called Revolution. Come on, you really couldn't change the name. That's what you came up with. Too close for me. But Kevin Smith has decided to come out and basically attack critics of the first part, saying that, you know, people were complaining that it's woke shit, and it's like these people haven't seen a movie or a TV show like ever in their lives. You know, we're only halfway through the story, so stop assuming you know what's gonna happen. And he's decided to make us all a promise that He-Man is going to be a massive part of season/part 2, and He-Man is going to be in every single episode. But I've seen enough lies from Kevin Smith. I don't believe Kevin Smith at this point, so we're going to be talking about that. Honestly, I don't know how this show got renewed because it has a 40% audience score. They didn't even renew Cowboy Bebop, and it had a 65% audience score. This is nearly half of that. Like, why did they think that this is a good idea? I don't know, maybe because the critic reviews are great, but then again with Cowboy Bebop, the critic reviews were also pretty positive. And we also saw a massive drop-off with viewership numbers for Masters of the Universe. So I'm feeling very confused why they decided to do this. Maybe they, you know, decided to sign several contracts before they even created the first season, saying, hey, we're going to do multiple seasons. I don't know, but they're doing more of it. And we are going to be talking about the Rings of Power and how actors are confirming the show is aiming to erase Tolkien's work for the sake of modernity. Now, this is something that we've all feared, that they wanted to create the Rings of Power to simply erase Tolkien's past work and make it more, you know, diverse, inclusive, with the times, modern. And now the actors are just straight up confirming this. If you, as this article shows, you know, when we actually get around to watching this in a few, or reading this in a few, excuse me, the actors were all basically told, hey, make sure that you point out diversity and inclusivity a lot, and that this is a very diverse and inclusive show, because all of the actors basically parrot the same exact things that they must have been given on a script about how, oh, it's modern, you know, it's inspired by his work, it's not an actual adaptation of his work. So those are the topics that we are going to be discussing tonight, but welcome on in, everyone. I hope that your evening is going well. Those are the topics. That is what we will be talking about, and hopefully, next week we'll have more positive news. Sorry, guys. I tried. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people arguing that the Sauron that looks like Eminem isn't actually Sauron, and that's what I initially thought at first. I thought that it was going to be a priest of Morgoth, but it's not. It's not. I mean, there are multiple news outlets confirming that it is Sauron, and that's the information I have to go off of. I saw a few people yelling at me in my comment section of that video going, it's not this character, it's this other character. Yeah, honestly, I would love to believe that, but all these news outlets are confirming that it is Sauron, so what am I supposed to do? Say no, they're lying? I mean, this is why they shill for these series, so that they can get inside information. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was a different character, but it's not. So, I don't know, guys. As long as Vera doesn't bring up the Land Before Time, we're good. Oh no, Judith Barcy. Oh no. Vera, even if that was a priest, that's an ugly looking cultist. I agree. I think that regardless of who it is, it's a very poor design. Obviously, maybe if it was a different character and it fit their description, I'd go, okay, it looks pretty accurate, but as of right now, it does not look like an accurate description of the character that we know. Tolkien wasn't that good. Oh yeah, what have you written that was better? Feel free to start listing off your works. Oh, come on. Without his work, we wouldn't have fucking most goddamn fucking fantasy at this point. Be honest. Bring up William Shatner. I did talk in a YouTube short a couple days ago about William Shatner basically shitting on New Trek, which I think is hilarious, but also, I don't know if you guys heard, I didn't mention it in the short, but he has been cast in Masters of the Universe Part 2. So William Shatner is going to be part of Kevin Smith's He-Man. Well, He-Man that's not really He-Man. So, yeah. William Shatner just keeps getting better and better. He's a Chad. He really, really is. Vera spent a good amount of time on live stream paying respect to Yu-Gi-Oh's creator. Yeah, I did. I talked about it in a live stream, and then I had talked about it on Twitter, and I didn't do a specific video on it, but I did talk about it several times. Once again, I was nowhere near the Yu-Gi-Oh creator when he died. I just want to reiterate that fact. Thanks, Roto. Thanks for clarifying. We really appreciate it. We really needed to make sure. Well, I'm not going to watch the Masters of the Universe anyway. Yeah, I mean, you guys know I try to watch everything I talk about so that I can have a fair kind of assessment of it. I watched that stupid fucking One-Up movie. I talked about it in a video yesterday. The Ruby Rose movie that's about Gamergate. The Gamergate comedy. I talked about that yesterday. The day before, I had watched it. I had heard no one talk about it. I couldn't find any articles. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. I watched it. 10 minutes in, I couldn't watch it just completely through. I had to watch like 10 minutes and then stop. 10 minutes and then stop. 10 minutes and then stop. It was just so fucking bad. It's the worst movie that I've seen this year. And honestly, I don't even know what comes close. I don't even know what is worse that's come out this year or maybe even last year. That shit was that was bad. That was just so bad. I highly regret watching that. I wasted an hour and a half of my life. I think it's the movie I've most regretted watching in years. That was terrible. Oh my god, that was awful. Why do I have to be the fucking idiot that has to watch this brain dead trash? You know, a fucking toddler could write something better. Give them an hour and a crayon, they can come up with something better. It's just so awful. I hope your sanity is okay after watching these terrible shows and movies. It's not. It's not. My condolences. Yeah, I definitely regret watching it. But I had to. You know, what else was I supposed to do? Review a movie I haven't seen? Vera actually took lessons from One-Up on how to become a gamer girl. The fun fact, the game that was in that trash-ass movie is a real game. They created this game, and it's a free-to-play game that came out like 2 weeks ago, and they're, of course, promoting the movie because of the game. They're saying, oh my god, look, this game just came out. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. It's on Twitter. Hold on. I haven't downloaded it. It's just so I'm not trying to shit on these game developers, right? But that's how they decided to launch their game, was with the One-Up Gamergate movie. Why the fuck would you want your game promoted in a movie that hates gamers? You know? Why would you do that? I don't know. It's well, I'm not going to be playing it. But it's a real game. It's called, what is it called? Hold on. Fault Elder Orb. Not getting sponsored by them anytime soon. Alright, chat. So let's get started with the first topic of the evening. Vera is now an esports gamer girl. I've been an esports gamer girl. Did you play Terra? Many years ago. Terra is closed now. They did finally shut it down. So the first topic of the evening that we're going to be discussing is Wakanda Forever. Now, I actually liked the first Black Panther movie. I thought that it was pretty well done. I liked the general kind of storyline. I thought the visuals were very nice in it. The acting was fantastic. And overall, I enjoyed the first movie. And I have been looking forward to the second Black Panther movie. Unfortunately, after Chadwick Boseman passed away, there have been a lot of questions about, would they recast him? Would they go in a different direction? Would they, you know, pass the torch off to, you know, Letitia Wright's character, Shuri? Would they basically rehash the first movie just with another character? We didn't really know what they were going to do, But we do know that there is massive backlash surrounding this film right now because Disney and Marvel are facing this backlash for using his Twitter account to promote Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We have seen similar situations happen in the past. I think that it's pretty scummy. It says, having apparently learned nothing from the overwhelmingly negative reaction to their recent licensing of Marvel icon Stan Lee's likeness for future CGI revivals, Disney has come under fire from both fans and general audiences alike for using the late Chadwick Boseman's Twitter account to promote the first teaser for their upcoming film Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, I do think that there is a way that they could promote this movie without being this scummy. So, in my opinion, if they got permission from the family and they wanted to promote this movie, I think the best way to do so would be taking pictures of Chadwick Boseman on set from the first movie, maybe with like Letitia Wright and the actress who plays his mother, other actors, like of them hugging, of them fooling around on set basically, and them just acting, kind of like family, like in the film. I think that would have been a way to be like, if you want to see the continuation of this story, you can watch this movie. But straight up posting teasers and trailers, especially where in the movie the character has also passed away and that's the central theme about the movie, I think that it is a bit scummy. It says, released on July 23rd as part of the studio's SDCC 2022 festivities, the sequel's premiere preview provided audiences with their first proper look at multiple characters as they deal with personal and global fallout of T'Challa's as of yet unexplained in canon passing. So he is passed away in the actual movie. They're not recasting. They are not, basically writing it as he's MIA. They're not sure where he is or what he's doing. He did pass away in the actual MCU. It says, however, while the release of such a trailer would normally have sparked excitement amongst both general movie-going audiences and diehard Marvel stans, Disney proceeded to deflate their own hype by sharing the teaser through his official Twitter account, tweeting it alongside the caption, Wakanda Forever. Now, I personally didn't want them to recast him. I think that it's a difficult situation that they were left in, obviously. I'm not saying that, one way was definitely the way to go or the other way was the way to go. In my opinion, I would rather them not recast him, but I understand there are a lot of difficulties with having to basically canonically explain that he did pass away, without that ever being like a written storyline that they're following. So I get that no matter what they were going to do, it was going to piss people off, right? This is one of those situations that no one was going to be happy, so they just kind of had to do what they felt was best. But I think that promoting it through his social media accounts is pretty scummy. I do not support that. I don't think that that's what they should be doing. It's like when Stan Lee passed away, and on Stan Lee's Twitter accounts, there were NFT projects being shared and new comics being shared, and basically ways that Marvel was making money being shared. That was not something that I supported either. Yes, I get it. These accounts have millions of followers and they have giant reaches that they want to be able to utilize. But at the same time, we didn't see family members. Come out and basically say, hey, we're the ones deciding what's going up on this social media. We're the ones who are deciding what's being posted, and we are basically like consenting, like we're saying, okay, this is fine. It's unfortunately probably just that Marvel owns the accounts and they're getting the final say, and now they're just utilizing these social media accounts of people who have passed away to maybe make money. It says, unsurprisingly, this use of a deceased man's image by both the company and Boseman's family, the latter of whom have reportedly taken over running the actor's accounts following his passing, to market a major corporate product, sparked a wave of outrage. Now, this isn't confirmed. This is just reportedly. Again, that's why I was specifying, you know, they haven't come out and said anything yet. If they had done that, maybe a lot of people would feel a bit differently, but they haven't actually confirmed that they're the ones running it, like on a normal basis. People are saying things like, maybe I'm crazy, but what if in death it's not the cool... That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Oh, okay, to still make him promote the Marvel machine. Okay, I kind of get it. The first half didn't make sense. For Stan Lee, now Boseman, it's sick and ghoulish to use someone's digital corpse as a billboard for advertisements. It's a difficult situation because it's not like it was planned. It's not like they knew what they were going to do. It's not like it's an in-canon thing. So they do face a lot of problems. There are a lot of people out there who think that they should have just scrapped this movie altogether. I don't necessarily think that they should have scrapped it altogether, but I feel like they really, I hope that they've really planned for the backlash that they're going to face. I really hope that they have, because this is not a movie that is going to go over very smoothly with people. It says, using a dead actor's account to promote a movie as if someone's homage is so gross. Yeah, it's not like on Chadwick's social media account they put up like a 1 minute or 2 minute video of like behind the scenes footage of the cast from the first movie hanging out, talking to each other, hugging, being happy. It's not like it was a heartfelt post. It's basically just Wakanda Forever with a literal trailer. It's not like they came up with anything special or heartfelt or unique. It's basically just, hey, we're shoving out the next product, go and give it a view. Is it okay to be using his account like this? Like, even if you got permission, why would this ever be a question you'd ask his family? Hollywood is cold, man. Yeah, just imagine being a fucking assistant at a company and having to email, call, or just in general talk to his family members, being like, yeah, so we want to promote this movie on your dead family member's social media account. Like, just fucking imagine having to go through a situation like that. It's like, really? Why are they using his account to advertise the movie? I don't know how to feel about it. It's odd and weird and feels kind of exploitative, and this isn't the first time they did this either. They did it with Stan Lee months ago. Obviously, everyone's going to have their own opinions on this. If it's okay, if it's not okay, if it's acceptable, if they shouldn't do this. But at the end of the day, the way that I view it is a multi-billion-dollar company using a dead man's Twitter account for free advertising. And we do not know if the family is okay with this. And behind this, I didn't support the Stan Lee situation, and I am sure as hell not going to support the Chadwick Boseman situation. So that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic. It's pretty gross in my opinion. I don't support it. I don't like it. I think it's pretty shitty of them. But of course, you're free to disagree. So yeah, next we're going to be talking about KOTOR. I am happy and want to cry at the same time. It's a very conflicting situation. Hollywood is cold, man. No kidding? Yeah. Yeah. True, Chris. Every day is a living hell. They sweet talk the family with cash. I mean, ultimately, if that's what the family is okay with and wants to do, you know, it'd still be great to hear something from them. Doesn't mean I'm not going to judge Marvel, because it was Marvel's idea. If the family accepted cash for it, I really don't blame them, because at the end of the day, they're just accepting cash for, unfortunately, roles that this actor signed up for. But at the same time, I still blame Marvel much more than I would ever blame a family, because, I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar company using someone's social media accounts and photos and likeness for movie promotion. Like, it's still shit. Knights of the Woke Republic. Well, as far as, well, see, that's the thing, is like, it is still probably could be woke, but they fired the major kind of woke player that was part of this movie, or she quit. Shirley, guys. She quit. She wasn't fired. She just quit. But Sam Maggs was one of the writers on this movie, and of course she is a massive SJW, and she has shoved her political opinions into her work in the past, and she quit / was probably really fired, and that to me was a good sign, because she was kind of the #1 problem that I saw potentially with this project. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, other people will not push the whole woke content into this game. But right now, we're not even sure when or if we're gonna get this game. Quit, right. According to her, she quit. Guys, she's a woman. She would never lie. Especially for social media attention. What are you... What are you implying, guys? She's just a nice, innocent woman. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, Knights of the Old Republic. Uh-oh, there's a lot of... Why did it censor... Huh? Why did it censor it in the... Hold on, I need to see this again. Hold on. I need to see this again. Did it Why did it censor it in that, but not... Okay. Chris said for $10, it's a shame Sam Maggs is so crazy. I'd buy her a short stack of pancakes. Well, thank you, Chris, for the $10 donation. Much appreciated. You got, you don't get text-to-speech, but thank you for the $10 donation. Much appreciated. Thanks. But guys, Knights of the Old Republic. I'm feeling conflicted on this situation. I really, really am. I am feeling, very conflicted. Because on one hand, I want a Knights of the Old Republic new release. I do. I love Knights of the Old Republic. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Like I'm sure a lot of you know, because I've talked about it, and I've also played it on the channel. I love Knights of the Old Republic. So I would love, you know, a new remake. But I also have been very worried about the content that could be in it, and potentially woke content and censorship. But this is a brand new situation. This is by Bloomberg, Jason Schreier. I'm using an archive because I'm not going to give Bloomberg my money. It says a hotly anticipated new Star Wars game is in serious trouble according to people familiar with the project. It sounds like KOTOR is in development hell. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, a remake of a 2003 role-playing game, is delayed indefinitely as developers at Austin, Texas-based Aspire Media try to figure out what comes next. Aspire also abruptly fired the game's art director and design director this month. In a series of meetings throughout July, Aspire's 2 studio heads told employees that the project is on pause and that the company will look for new contracts and development opportunities, said the people who were not authorized to speak publicly about the situation. Now, we have heard about quite a few people being fired / leaving this project. Like I mentioned, Sam Maggs being the main one that I've talked about. She was a writer, and she said that she left. She might have been fired. We'll never truly know the story. The world may never know. But now it seems like they're firing a lot of people that are very important to this project. We're not just talking about, you know, a couple of normal developers. And regardless, you know, I don't want people to just randomly be fired from projects, but we're talking about major leads here. Again, art director, design director, people that are very, very important parts to a project like this. It says Knights of the Old Republic was to be one of the first modern Star Wars console games released outside of Electronic Arts, which had previously held the exclusive licensing rights. That deal expires in 2023, opening the door for new Star Wars games from outside companies like Aspire, Ubisoft, and Quantic Dream. The game was announced last September and has been in development for nearly 3 years at Aspire, which was purchased by Sweden's Embracer Group last year. Guys, okay. So this game, at this point, has allegedly been in development for 3 years, okay? It was supposed to come out in 2023, so that would be 1 more year. And now they're saying it's not releasing potentially until at least 2025. This is another fucking Cyberpunk! Cyberpunk was in development for 9 goddamn years! And then they ended up scrapping it 3 years before, so the game that we ended up getting was only 3 years of work. It's going to be the same thing with this. You are not telling me that we're going to have a game that was developed for 6 years. What they're going to do, now that this project's paused, they're probably going to trash everything that they had, and they're going to restart. 6 years? And that's if it even comes out in 2025, because that's when they're saying they're estimating. It's a more realistic target. It says on June 30th, Aspire finalized a demo of the game known as a vertical slice to show to production partners. The developers were excited about it and felt like they were on track, according to a familiar person with the project, so they were shocked with what happened next. It sounds like they've already put a lot of time and effort into this game, and they're basically being blindsided with, hey, this isn't good enough. It says the following week, the company fired design director Brad Prince and the art director Jason Miner. Neither responded to requests for comment, but Miner suggested on social media that his dismissal was unexpected. Representatives for Aspire and Embracer didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Aspire studio heads told staff that the vertical slice wasn't where they wanted it to be, and that the project would be paused, according to 2 people who were in the meeting. One person familiar with the discussion suggested that a disproportionate amount of time and money had gone into the demo, and that the project's current course wasn't sustainable. So it basically sounds like for the past 3 years they've been fucking around. I mean, what is this? It sounds like they had a base idea, they had base mechanics down, kind of the base of the game, and, you know, they put a bunch of time and money and effort into this demo to show off to, of course, the people paying for the project, and now they're saying, you know, we've spent 3 years, put a shit ton of money into the game, and also into the demo, and it's just not sustainable. This is a problem that I'm seeing, right? We hear the excuse that, oh, video games need to get more expensive, but we don't actually get any reason why, and this is a major reason why. A lot of games, I unfortunately think the people behind them have no fucking clue what they're doing. They have no clue how to stick to a budget, stick to a timeline, hire the correct amount of people, hire the right people, and then games get delayed. They end up costing more money because they have to rehire a bunch of people and restart projects. And that's why I think that games continue to go up. That's why games are $70 now, and there's even been rumors that in 2-3 years they plan to go up even more, which of course I think is ridiculous. I think that games should not be as expensive as they are, but this is probably a major reason why. Yeah, look at Six Nights at Fallujah. It started in 2006, and it's still not out. They did completely stop that project for a couple of years, but with this, you know, right now they're 3 years in. Okay, they're saying, as it says, at the outset of development, Aspyr told staff and partners it would release the game by the end of 2022, according to 2 people familiar with the production. And then we heard 2023, and developers have now said a more realistic target is 2025. So at this point, they've already been working on it for 3 years. We're talking about 6 years, maybe 7 years, or 8 years, which ends up being a Cyberpunk. With Cyberpunk, they worked on it for 4 years. So the first 2 years of Cyberpunk were basically conceptual time. They were coming up with concepts, ideas, what they wanted to do, hiring people, pre-production shit. And then 3 years, they were fully working on the game. And then they ended up scrapping it. And then the game that we ended up getting was only 3 years of actual work, or 2.5 to 3 years of actual work, because they had to go back to the drawing board and restart it all, and that's what I think is going to happen here. I think for the next year, we're going to hear absolutely nothing about this project. At that point, we'll be 4 years in, and then they'll put 2.5 years into it. It'll come out at the end of 2025, maybe 2026, and that's when we'll actually get the project, and it'll really only be 3 years of work. It's even talked about here that, you know, Saber might actually take it over completely. It says the fate of KOTOR remains unclear. In May, Embracer announced that Saber Interactive would also join the project. Some at Aspyr believe that Saber, which has mainly been doing outsourcing work for the project, may take it over completely. So we could see a giant shift here. You know, it started with Aspyr, and then, as it says, Saber was added on to help, and maybe Aspyr will go away completely and it'll just be Saber. And if that happens, then we basically know that it's going to be wiped and they're going to restart the whole project, because very rarely do we see developers take over projects and actually keep a lot of the content that was there. Sometimes they'll keep the basic mechanics and kind of the groundwork that's been done for the game, but a lot of times they won't, and they completely scrap it and restart. And that's what I think is going to happen here. I think it's going to be passed off to somebody else, and then it's going to be years before we see it, which of course is very, very disappointing. On one hand, you know, I don't have a lot of hope that they're going to do justice to this game, because we heard that they, you know, are not only keeping the turn-based, but they're wanting to add in a mode where it's action combat, so it's more modern. And we've heard that they want to change dialogue around and make it more, you know, modern and with the times and more politically correct, basically. And now hearing about all these delays, it makes me not have a lot of hope in it, but at the same time, I love KOTOR. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I would fucking love a remake of this. But right now, you know, I'm feeling kind of meh. I'm not feeling excited. I'm not feeling worried. I'm just kind of feeling like I am probably going to be 30 when this game finally comes out. I'm turning 24 this year. I would put money on it being 6 more years, especially if they hand it off to another group of developers. I truly don't think we're going to get this game for another like 6 to 10 years. And that's 10 years might be a little long, but right now they're saying, you know, 3 more years. I think that's if the developers who are working on it now stay on it, and I think it's going to be a couple years after that, because I think they're gonna scrap it. I say 6 years. I'm literally gonna be 30 when this remake comes out. Right now, I'm looking at 27. I would be 27 if they keep on track right now. I'd be 27. I think it's gonna be longer. I think I'm gonna be 30. I don't know. Whew, I'm feeling real worried. I'm feeling really worried. So yeah. Knights of the Old Republic chat. How do we all feel about it? Are you excited? Are you worried? Do you think that we'll get it in the next 5 years? Do you think that we'll actually ever get this remake? We'll move on in a few. The fact it's got delayed for 2+ years means the current development team sucks ass. Yeah, it honestly sounds like they hired a bunch of people. They didn't really know what they wanted to do. They shoved a shit ton of time, obviously, and money into it. And the higher-ups are not impressed with the direction that they've gone in. So now they basically have to restart it all. I had a sneaking suspicion back a couple of months ago when Sam Maggs was quit, that there was something going on behind the scenes. Because she was one of the writers, and there were a couple writers. I believe there's 4 writers on this project. But she was one of the writers, and when one of the writers, you know, gets fired, that to me sounds like there could be some problems there. So yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys remember, side topic. Do you guys remember when I had interviewed Tommy Tallarico, the CEO of Intellivision? Well, I had talked about how he was going through a legal battle with Roblox because he actually owns the oof sound effect. But, well, Roblox had to remove the oof sound from Roblox because of licensing issues. Doesn't sound like Tommy Tallarico and Roblox are getting along anymore. I just thought I'd tell you guys. I have no Intellivision news, don't ask me. Yeah, Roblox is replacing it. The oof sound. Uh-oh, more Roblox drama. This time they're changing the death sound. They spent over $200 million to keep it. I don't know the details about this, because obviously like 2 years ago when it happened, I had talked to Tommy Tallarico about it when I was talking about the Amico as well, but apparently whatever amount of money he wanted was not enough. Jesus Christ. Sheesh. So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you guys that. Very interesting indeed. Just a side note. Well, Tommy is rich. Tommy been rich, not just because of Roblox, but I don't know. Roblox has drama? Yeah, Roblox has drama. But yeah, I don't know. KOTOR. Sounds like right now it's not looking too good. It's too bad about the Amico. I don't really have any other thoughts on it. But it sounds like we're never getting it. I tried to give it a chance. I was very hopeful for it at first. But when I initially interviewed Tommy about the Amico, you know, a year and a half, 2 years ago at this point, the price point was very different, the content was very different, the timeline was very different. Now, I don't really have a lot of hope in it. I saw the Amico last year in November when Tommy had came to like the Boston area. I saw it, but how the hell do you own the sound oof? He owns it because he created it. And Roblox had basically taken it and just put it in their game. and never got permission to use it. So he does own it. He did create it, so that's why. Forget the Amico. When's the KFC console coming out? I don't know, but I need it. How do you sell one sound for 200 million? You sell it because it was put into a game without permission, and a game that makes billions of dollars. Roblox revenue 2021. Roblox made $2 billion in 2021. And Roblox has been popular basically since it released in 2005? 2006. So, I mean, that long, making billions of dollars every year. Yeah. I mean, I see why they'd have to pay so much for it. But yeah. Oof. Don't sue me, Tommy. Yeah, next we're going to be talking about Masters of the Universe. Do we want to talk about Masters of the Universe next or Lord of the Rings? We'll talk about Lord of the Rings. We'll save Masters of the Universe for last. We'll talk about Rings of Power first. 'Cause why not? You know? Oh no, everyone's bringing up the Ouya. Chat, listen. Come on, chat. Let's not bring up failures here. Poll time? Nah, we don't need a poll. I mean, I'm going to be talking about both the topics anyway. We'll just talk about Rings of Power first. Quickly, chat, if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Check out the links in the description. Follow me on social media, join our Discord, donate via Streamlabs, or become a member via YouTube memberships. You can also gift memberships to other members of the community if you want to. But thank you guys for being here. I do really appreciate it. So, next we're going to talk about the Rings of Power. So, I've been talking a lot about the Rings of Power, but I am not going to stop until there is no Rings of Power news left, because this shit pisses me off so fucking badly. So, we've seen with the Rings of Power that they wanted to erase Tolkien's work, and they didn't want to follow it. They basically, at first, said, oh, it's, you know, an adaptation of his notes and his writing, and we want to follow it as close as possible. And now they've changed their tune, and they've said things like, well, it's just inspired by his work. And now, a bunch of actors during their interviews for the show have come out and confirmed Amazon and Prime Video aim to erase Tolkien's work because they want to make content for modern audiences. It says the Lord of the Rings of Power actors completely stripped away any kind of facade that might have been built for the Prime Video series that it would be faithful to Tolkien's literary work. Instead, they made it abundantly clear that the show is dedicated to modernity. I always say that word wrong, and it always sounds so wrong. I know that's how you pronounce it, guys, but it just doesn't sound right. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. In spite of Tolkien's work and his clear criticisms of it. So, one of the actresses who plays Princess Disa in the show spoke to a PA Media interviewer where she claimed that she is the face of a necessary redress of balance. She went on to detail, we are redressing the balance within the film and television industry, and of course this franchise, and I hope lots of franchises moving forward. These are the best people for the roles, but what they've done is open up the doors for people of all backgrounds to come forward and have the opportunity to rise. She then made it abundantly clear the show has nothing to do with Tolkien's work other than the name of the series and characters. She stated to be part of creating accessibility for generations to come. For new generations, this is their version of Tolkien. This is what my daughter will see of his works. I think that this is fucking disgusting. disgusting. They shouldn't be creating Tolkien work for generations to come. They should be following Tolkien's work for generations to come. You're not creating anything. You're stealing someone's work and twisting it around because you're a fucker. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be honest. You're a fucker. All of them are. Nothing against these people personally, but they signed on for a very inaccurate... It's not even a retelling. It's a fucking distortion of his work. This is what my daughter will see of his works. Well, I hope that your daughter sees more than that, because this is going to be the worst fucking adaptation ever made. Okay, I'm sorry. There's no way that this is going to be better than the Hobbit movies. And I've talked about the Hobbit movies a lot here on the channel. It's going to be the same situation like that happened with Star Wars. Okay, everyone, of course, loved the original trilogy, and everyone at first hated the sequel trilogy. But, I mean, hated the prequel trilogy. But then once the sequel trilogy came out, everyone started actually appreciating the prequel trilogy. The same thing is happening here. Everyone, of course, loves the Lord of the Rings movies. Of course, they're fucking amazing. Even though they're not 100% perfect themselves, they're really great. And they're very close to being perfect. And then the Hobbit films came out and everyone criticized them, didn't like them that much. But when the Rings of Power comes out, everyone is going to hate the Rings of Power, and the Hobbit movies are going to be much more appreciated. And I get it, you know. The Hobbit movies, listen, there should have only been 2 of them. They stretched out the source material. They wrote random shit in there. I'm not disagreeing, okay, that, you know, they shouldn't have made a 300-page book into 3 whole movies, but I appreciate the fact that they exist. I liked them. I didn't think that they were all that bad, even though they didn't follow the source material quite the way that they should have. They added in a bunch of random shit that they felt like. It still wasn't as bad as it could have been, but with the Rings of Power, I mean, they're openly admitting that they're doing this for the sake of appealing to modern audiences and wanting to tell more modern versions of Tolkien's work, which I think is absurd. It says, Nomvet then made it clear the Rings of Power is actually an erasure of Tolkien's work, and the whole point of the show is to reflect the modern world rather than reflect his work, which I completely disagree with. I say this all the time. If you want to create a diverse, inclusive, modern fantasy story, you fucking go for it. Go to fanfiction.net or whatever the fuck it's called, okay? Don't sit here and take someone's work and twist it around because you feel like it, because you can't actually create anything, so you have to steal someone else's work and twist it around, okay? It is absolutely disgusting, and I have zero respect for you if you do that. She explained it's their time and it's so important, and I hope many people will see this fantasy and be able to relate to it. I'm not reading Tolkien's work to relate to it. I'm reading it so that I get this cool, unique fantasy experience. I'm not reading it so that I can relate to it, okay? I'm sorry, I don't think many people are reading his work to simply relate to it. Yeah, you have love stories, you have good versus evil, you have morals of the story, right? Which, yeah, I mean, people, but anyone can relate to those. It doesn't matter what color your skin is, what your background is, what your gender is, you can still relate to those core elements. Why would you need to change it around at that point? Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Reese. Just a thanks for the honesty. Well, thank you, Reese, for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't have right off the bat known how your name is said, but now I will remember. I appreciate the clarification. It says, this is a reflection of the world we live in. No one wants to read Tolkien to see a reflection of the world that we live in. Wow, that's really weird, Theater. I don't know what just happened, but your chat message, it just randomly got hidden on the channel. Wow, that is really weird, Theater. I and other moderators didn't remove it. YouTube just decided to remove it. It says, and there are many, and we are different, and we will embrace and discover and peel back and learn and educate and be educated. And we can only do that when we embrace and love our differences. I have no oh my god, I'm sorry. Whenever I see this image, I just think of the gold flake fucking dandruff that she has. It looks so bad. The dandruff, it's just so bad. I'm sorry, I'm getting very distracted. Oof, that dandruff. I have no problems with, yeah, weird. I have no problems with diversity and inclusivity in entertainment. I have no problems with seeing people that look, talk, walk, or act differently than me. I love seeing representation in entertainment. My problem is that you are taking a series and you're changing characters, you're altering characters, you're creating new characters to simply fit a narrative. And that is my number one problem with situations like this. Also with House of the Dragon and them taking the House of Valyria and absolutely changing them around. It makes no sense. It's in the situation with House of the Dragon, they're supposed to be very similar to Targaryens. They're supposed to look almost the same. They're supposed to be the spitting images of Targaryens. And in this, I mean, this isn't even what a dwarven princess should look like. They didn't even follow it. Oh my god, and this actress has gone on about how, oh, she's so blessed and grateful to be playing the first dwarven woman shown on screen. No, you're not. That's the problem with you. You're not. Have you never seen the other films that have released? Of course you haven't. She then asserted to be the poster child and to fly the flag, being a mother, being a woman, and being a person of color, and being a curvaceous woman deemed as a thing of beauty is something we don't always see. So this image of her, this is all of those things personified in a face, and it happens to be my face. Your face, which is inaccurate to the source material because you don't have a beard. If she had a beard, I wouldn't care. She'd look accurate. She'd look accurate. Now, if her story was accurate, who knows? But at least she'd look accurate. She doesn't look accurate, I don't support it. Thank you, Theater, for the $2 super chat. Oh no, I totally believe you. Good, you should. I would never lie to you. I would never lead you astray. I would never be dishonest with you. Thank you for the donation, though. I was gonna say dono. Thank you for the donation, though. Yeah, it's kind of trash. Ismael Cruz Cordova echoed her claim that the show is an erasure of Tolkien's work, saying that the awareness of diversity with Tolkien's original source material has grown. The cinematic world that Peter Jackson created has immense value, but we've shifted lenses since then. Shifted lenses? These people had a script. They were each given a script and specific words, terms, and points they had to talk about, and they were told, follow this. You can edit it a little bit. The fact that, you know, you all can't say the same things, you can edit it a little bit, but it all has to say the generally same things. He's continued, the conversation is different right now, but going back to the source material, the world is diverse, but not only in race, but also in thought. It is a diverse mix, and now we're just adding people from diverse backgrounds. Why don't you just go and create your own fantasy series if you want to create new characters and original characters? This is literally coming from the guy who is a brand new character. Not even in Tolkien's original source material. I don't think that he has any right to talk about the source material and Tolkien's work when he's literally just a new character. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's true, though. Another actress said that this cast is truly global. Everyone sort of has their frame of reference in terms of their culture, their heritage, what it means to them, their language. Part of the story we're trying to tell is you have people of different races coming together to defeat a common enemy. Wow, like that has not happened in Tolkien's work before. Gee whiz. You're trying to look at this through a modern lens. No! We don't want to see it through a modern lens. When I'm watching something like this, okay. When I'm watching a Lord of the Rings, a Hobbit, I want to see it through the lens of Tolkien. Would he be happy with this? Would he be proud of this? Is this the way that he would tell this scene? Obviously, it's very difficult at times to know what he would have wanted, the way that he would have had a scene go, obviously. But I would want to close my eyes and be like, okay, what would he think about this? Is this the way that he would create it? But they're not doing that. They're just going, we just want to create what we want to create. Go create your own series then. I mean, they're throwing around the words here: global, diverse, inclusive, modern. It's representation. It's a lot. And again, I'm not a racist. I'm fine with seeing any types of people on screen. If I can relate to them, if I can't relate to them, no matter what their skin color is, their background is, the way they walk, talk, act. But it's not accurate to the source material, which is my problem. You have to look at this through a modern lens, and the world is global, and people now expect to see this kind of world globally represented. That doesn't even make sense. Even when I'm seeing different posters popping up, the title of the show is in how many different languages? It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, when you're shoving $1 billion+ into a show, you expect it to be in multiple languages. Tolkien is for everyone. His stories are about his fictional races doing their best work when they leave the isolation of their own cultures and come together. So, as you can see, chat, that is what they're worried about. They're worried about, you know, creating Tolkien for modern audiences, and they don't actually care about representing his work and telling it accurately. They only really care about erasing it and presenting it to modern audiences. Thank you, Wild Rose, for being a member of the channel for 2 months. They're using every buzzword for woke crap possible. Next move, call us all racist. So, well, yeah, that's why they're clearly doing an interview like this, is so that when the show comes out in a couple of weeks, they can say, oh, all these people are ists and phobes, and that is why they don't like it. But thank you for the 2 months as a Bronze Titan. Much appreciated. The entire Rings of Power was about destroying Tolkien's legacy from day one. Oh yeah, 100% agree. Yeah. It's, yeah. There's nothing stupider than that helmet. Oh, the sun helmet that she's got. I actually, you know, maybe it's a hot take. Give me the, blow the fucking image up. There we go. I actually don't think that it's as bad as it could be, but my problem is the chest piece, okay? If that helmet was on her, but she was wearing, like, maybe that general type of top with, like, very, like, flowy silk or mesh, you know, sleeves with armor underneath it, and then, like, a dress bottom, I think that that helmet could actually look cool if she had a more maybe feminine outfit to go with it, because I feel like the whole sun thing is kind of like the sun design. It could lean into a very feminine design, but of course, what the fuck is feminine these days? I mean, ew, femininity. Ugh, that's disgusting. Who even likes females these days? Who even likes female designs and feminine designs? Ugh. That's gross. I hate the... See, I'm the other way. I think the helmet is not as bad, but that chest piece is just god awful. I have to disagree. But yeah. Guys, I'm not like a fashion designer over here, okay? I'm just giving my general opinions. But let me find kind of like an image of what I'm talking about, since we're here and we're talking about it. Like, I'm sure I could find something on Google, typing in a general, descriptor. I'm sure I could find something, because like I don't really think that it's too bad of a headpiece idea. I get what their concept is, right? Like, this is their general concept, so I get the vision. It's supposed to be a big headpiece, it's supposed to be golden, it's supposed to be intricate. The problem is the rest of the outfit. It's not like she has a dress like this that actually looks kind of feminine and actually looks kind of good. Like, I get the idea that they had, but their idea was very generic. Like, I've seen these types of headpieces. Like, are they really trying to make a Beyonce look right now? They literally just copied Beyonce. I mean, come on. Like, if they had actually put her in a golden dress, I think it would have looked much better. But the problem is we can't have actual feminine designs these days, which is stupid. The sun design reminds me of a Warhammer 40k design. True. But alright guys, next we're going to talk about Masters of the Universe. Are going to have to approve character designs for the Varaverse? I am. Even though the Varaverse is never going to be a thing. I could make some pretty fucking sick character designs. I am very confident in saying that. Whether it's for a movie or game or comic book, I could make some very good character designs.
Stephen Kraft donated $10.
Thank you for the $10.
If there is a Rings of Power game,
no,
can you live stream as Don Lemon or Emancipated Galadriel?
Wow, you're really leaving me with some great options here. I'd have to go with neither. So, yeah. Thank you for the $10 donation. Much appreciated. I would not play it. Of course, I'd have to still go with my girl Galadriel, though, because she's my girl. But neither. But yeah. Thanks for the dono. I don't know. I have a giant problem with this series, and maybe, it's because I'm a woman, but I do not see any feminine characters, and it is honestly stupid. I want to see more feminine characters. I want to see more feminine designs. I want to see beautiful dresses and, inspiring hairstyles, and I just see nothing in terms of femininity in this show, and it's pretty gross. As a female, I do not appreciate you erasing my existence. Alright, chat. So the final topic of the evening is going to be Kevin Smith and Masters of the Universe. So, a woman, what's that? It's a good joke. It's a great joke, even. It's still depressing. So, listen, I can't rehash all of the Masters of the Universe drama. Go to my channel, type in Masters of the Universe, you'll find approximately 50,000 videos on it. But a couple of months ago, I talked about this in a video, they had announced a Masters of the Universe Season 2, which I think is absurd because Masters of the Universe got absolutely fucking raked across the coals. Well, Masters of the Universe Revelation, I should specify. As you can see, critics liked it, but audiences hated it. It's sitting at a 39% audience score right now, and He-Man was not a giant part of it. We got the Tila show, which is, of course, what they were focused on, it seems like. Even though they say it was, they weren't. And that wasn't their focus. And now Kevin Smith is coming out saying he doesn't understand the criticisms. He doesn't understand why people are calling it woke shit. He hates the critics of the series, basically. And he's begging us to give him another chance. He is begging us to watch Revolution. It says, fans of the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe series have been lambasting the creator of Netflix's new offering in the universe, Masters of the Universe Revelation. She-Man? Actually true. No one liked it. Very true. Kevin Shit tried to make Clownfish the bad guys. Actually true, though. Critics liked it. Yeah, they were paid to like it. EVS has taken an interest in Vera's channel. I would totally back a comic written by Vera and drawn by EVS. Well, tweet that at him then. I mean, I can't make everything happen myself. I don't have enough of a following to do a project like that. Maybe one day, though. Kevin Smith is another know-it-all who doesn't understand what Euro-based fantasy is. Actually true, though. But it says that creator, Kevin Smith, is dumbfounded. Gee whiz chat. Kevin Smith is dumbfounded by the fact that people didn't like Revelation. Wow. It says in an interview in the New York Post, he says he did not see the backlash coming and reiterates a common point that was made by many people that we're only 5 episodes into a 10-episode first season here. I think that this is too funny. He didn't see the backlash coming. He didn't think that people were going to hate it. Wow. He didn't know that people were going to hate something that wasn't accurate to source material, that was very random, completely rewrote characters, race-swapped characters, and left the main character that everyone was watching out of the show? Wow. No one actually could see that coming, huh? Teela was one of the first figures launched, and she's in every episode of the cartoon, fighting right beside He-Man. So I didn't bring anything to this where I'm like, man, watch this woke shit. Some of the takes on it feel like people haven't seen a movie or a TV show like ever in their lives. No, that's the problem for you, Kevin Smith, is that people have seen movies and TV shows and they don't want the bullshit that you're trying to make us watch. That's why people fought back against it, because we've seen better entertainment. And he confirms that no, spoilers, He-Man was not killed off a second time in the last of the first 5 episodes the way many have claimed. This is so fucking bizarre because he literally said in an interview, we killed him off not just once, but twice. So did or did you not kill him off twice? They seem to think that we have done irreversible things to some of their favorite characters. We're halfway through a story. There is so much He-Man in the next 5 episodes. Ours is one long story cut up into chapters. It's not quite clear why Netflix decided to split the 10-episode animated series in half, which may have contributed to this perception that it was lacking in He-Man. After seeing an initial reaction, my first thought was that it was too soon to judge given that we were only 5 episodes in. I'm still not sure if this is the only season he has planned for it, though he does not say they're halfway they're halfway through the story, so maybe so. I don't believe anything that Kevin Smith says at this point. I just don't. I just don't believe anything that he says at this point. This is my problem, okay? Is that he's just so fucking flippy-floppy. He is so flippy-floppy. And, give me 1 second, because I want to find one other thing. There was another article that I wanted to reference, but for some reason, I closed it? Or maybe it crashed. Let me find it. There was another recent article that I wanted to... Oh yes, this is it. Sorry, I had to re-find it. This is from Screen Rant. It says, He-Man is in every Masters of the Universe Revolutions episode, promises Kevin Smith. Why the fuck would I trust Kevin Smith at this point? He has given us no reason to trust him. He's lied and lied and lied constantly. It says after a divisive absence in the first 2 parts, Kevin Smith promises that He-Man will be in every episode of Revolutions. He created the prior Netflix series Revelation, which itself acted as both a sequel and reimagining of the favorite show from the mid-80s. It says that he teased that the series will be incredibly moving while still full of fun and adventure. I just don't trust anything that he says anymore. I mean, there's been lie after lie after lie. Maybe Revolution will come out. Maybe it'll make a lot of sense. Maybe it'll be great. Only time will tell. But right now, I don't have a lot of hope in it. And if we go on over to, you know, this article from 2021, it says He-Man fans turn off Kevin Smith on Netflix. It makes no sense that they would do another season of this unless they signed contracts before and they decided months before releasing it or years before releasing it, hey, we're going to create multiple seasons. It just doesn't make a lot of sense why they would create another season of the show when people didn't like the first one. It says Netflix released the data for the top 10 TV shows of November 22nd to 28th, where He-Man is nowhere to be found. I mean, even fucking Cowboy Bebop did better. Jeez, this was really a time to be alive, huh? Last year in December, this was a fucking time to be alive. Revelation didn't make the top 10 list, but Cowboy Bebop was number 2. God damn. But yeah, guys, that's all that I really had to talk about tonight. Talked about He-Man, Kevin Smith. We talked about Lord of the Rings. We talked about KOTOR. We talked about Disney. I'll be wrapping up stream in a little bit. Not yet, though, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, leave them in chat. If you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. If you don't, you hate it, you don't like the content, give it a dislike. Check out links in the description and the pinned comment. Donate via Streamlabs. Become a member via YouTube memberships. Also consider gifting memberships to the community. But thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Star Trek Picard exists somehow. I don't think that Picard was as bad as Discovery, but Picard also wasn't good. I agree. Why release another season of Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe? Because Netflix has him under contract and it needs more mind-numbing streaming content. True, but again, if we look at something like Cowboy Bebop, they canceled it after 1 season because it only had a 65% user score. I mean, Master of the Universe only had a 40. You'd think that they'd keep Cowboy Bebop around. Never got to see Positive Polly tonight. I know, I'm sorry. Do you guys have any positive news that's happened that you want me to talk about? If you do, leave it in chat. Would you do a Varaverse? I mean, I would totally do a project with other creators. I don't have many artistic skills under my belt. Unfortunately, I know how to play 7 instruments and I do not know how to draw. So I would need an artist to help me. But yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'd do like a collaboration, maybe limited series with another creator or something. I know you guys have been asking me about it and we've been joking about it, but I mean, in all seriousness, maybe one day I'd do a project with other creators, but yeah. I have no plans for it right now. Sorry, chat. I'm sorry to disappoint. I don't have any plans to do a Varaverse or similar project at this point in time. The Varaverse features Mountain Dew waterfalls. Guys, listen. When Baja Blast came out a few weeks ago, I literally bought so many batches of Baja Blast. I literally went to multiple stores and bought out every one that I found. I haven't found Baja Blast in 2 weeks. Did they already take it out of stores? That would be sad. Probably. Artists in the chat interested? I'm not sitting here like,
40 donated $25.
Saying I'd ever be able to make a project
movie trailer
like that happen, but you know, maybe one day, who knows, right? I mean, everything could potentially happen. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. Thank you, 40, for the $25 donation. I did see the new movie trailer. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it, but I did see it. But thank you for the dono. Will you be watching season 2 of Masters of the Universe? I will try to give it a chance, like I give most things a chance. But yeah. Wait, you actually like that Mountain Dew stuff? No, guys. See, I have one Mountain Dew can that I rinse out and that I just put random, like, water in. And, it looks like I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I'm a gamer, of course I like Mountain Dew. I noticed some artists in the Discord. We definitely have quite a few different artists in the community, and there are other artists and creators that, you know, I know, like EBS, but I mean, doing a project like that takes a lot of time, a lot of planning, and I don't know, I have no plans for anything right now, but maybe one day. Square. What the fuck? Square Enix? Heavily censor sexualized artwork from various series for English release of Manga Up app. The recent release of an English language version of Square Enix's Manga Up app has left fans less than enthused after it was discovered that the company has censored numerous depictions of sexualized body parts, including breasts and knees. What, guys? When did knees become sexual content? What the fuck? Like, knees? Knees are sexual content now? Knees. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. What the fuck? Ay. Officially made available to the English-speaking public on July 24th, the appropriately titled Manga Up global incarnation of their digital library collects localized editions of the company's manga catalog in one app, with various agreements having been made to allow for central aggregation of the series published under their direction, regardless of who, if anyone, may have licensed them in the West. Not Blair! They censored Blair and Soul Eater? You can't do that to my girl! Not my girl! Oh, not Blair! This is the last straw! What the fuck? Dude, that's my girl! You can't censor her like that! I hate these companies, dude. They are fuckers. You even censored her here?! Oh, what the fuck? Not my pumpkin girl. She's further censored in her first full-body illustration. Man, what the fuck? Not my girl. Oh, God. That's so stupid. What are these? This is so dumb. What is with these losers? Why do we have to censor everything? What, like that? That's not even that bad. It's not even showing nipples. It's not, there's not even nips there. I have no idea what's going on right now. Roto, be outraged. That's what's going on. Be outraged. Why are knees getting censored? Why is the knee getting censored? I don't understand. What is with the knee? Why is the knee bad? What the fuck? Oh, how can they do this to our girl? How could they censor Blair like this? What the fuck? Skin, I guess. It wasn't even on a girl. I'm outraged. Yeah, that's right, Roto. Be outraged. It's not even on a girl. Oh, it is. Okay. I didn't think it was. Come on. Really? Oh, God. They can't do this to our girl, Blair. They can't. This is an outrage. That's crazy. This is an outrage. It really is. Well, yeah, they've been messing with Tifa for years at this point. Unfortunately, they've been fucking with Tifa for a long time. Never heard of a knee fetish? They're not censoring toes. Or thighs. Or fingers. There could be a fetish for anything. They're not censoring any of that. The censored crotch on the jeans is funny though. Yeah, that it is actually kind of funny. I think it's this one. Oh no, which one is it? Where is it? Yeah, this one. That is actually kind of funny. What are up with these censors? They are going cuckoo. Like, why are you censoring that? We need a manga gate. I would totally create a manga series. I would totally. I have a really cultured 3D model of Tifa. Uh-oh. That's the thing, is like, what, are we just gonna be censoring everything now? It's not funny that censorship is happening. It's just funny that this girl's jeans are censored. I don't know, chat. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at how stupid and absurd it is. I'm not laughing because it happened. It's going to come to the point where we're going to get the big censoring block covering the whole character. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that hasn't happened at this point. You know, that censor in the jeans actually makes it worse. Now people will focus on it being there. True. I don't know. I clearly they went into this trying to sanitize as much content as possible. Which is ridiculous because obviously adults are consuming this content. Is the Varaverse is going to be a manga series? Maybe one day. Chat, there's no Varaverse at this point in time. Maybe one day. And they expect someone to pay for that. Yeah, I do not understand why people would pay for toned down content like this. Especially where there are other ways to consume this content that is not censored. That's the thing, is that even though this is censored, there are still ways to consume it with non-censorship. But it's all just about accessibility for people, so I understand it. I understand why there would still be people supporting it. It just, I wouldn't want to buy product like this. And they didn't even censor everything. Look at how bad these censors are. Not that I'm for censorship, but these censors are so bad. I mean, look at, they didn't even censor her ass here. Go away, Kevin Smith. Look, they didn't even censor her ass. I mean, come on. If you're gonna... they didn't even censor properly. Don't censor at all if you're... Just don't censor at all, period. So, like, what's their excuse? Oh, yeah, this other content's bad, but not that. We can leave that. It makes no sense. These people are so inconsistent and just so fucking terrible. Stop censoring content. They didn't censor Kevin's face. They should have. But yeah, chat, I'm gonna be wrapping up stream in a minute or two, so if you're enjoying, give it a like, support. If you have any comments or questions, topics you want me to discuss, leave them in chat. It's only the top of the butt crack still. They're censoring a woman's jeans, okay? It's so funny when these censors are so inconsistent. Again, not that I want things to be censored, but they're so bad at their jobs too. They're so bad at their job. It's like, really? More boobs, less Kevin Smith, please. Yeah, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. If you're too young or bashful to read this book, then don't read it. It's not your thing. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, if you don't want to consume content, don't consume content. Support the Varaverse. That's it, chat. Support the Varaverse. Maybe one day it'll be real. This is why you have to pirate. I would never pirate anything. I only consume products legally that I have paid my dues for. I would never, okay, steal content. That is illegal. I would never. Censorship is truly the X's. Censorship is truly the destruction of art. Oh yeah, I 100% agree. Oh, wink wink. Guys, I would never pirate content. That is illegal and not okay and bad. I pay for all of the content I consume, and I would never, ever illegally steal content online. Me, never. I'm a rule follower. I'm not a risk taker or a rule breaker. I can't even say it with a straight face. I've got a straight face, okay? I would never steal content on the internet. I'm now laughing because I'm looking at chat. Because you guys are very funny. Haha. You guys are very funny. I never do anything, man. Not me. Wasn't the Mona Lisa destroyed by SJWs a couple of weeks back? No, it wasn't. It's got a protective glass outer layer. I'm very innocent, chat. I would never steal anything from the internet. But alright, chat. With that being said, I am going to wrap up the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, check out links in the description. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Odyssey, Getter. Follow me on social media so that you can see when my content is posted, videos, live streams. Join our Discord server. We're very active there. I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live streams. Of course, no stream tomorrow, but there will be a stream on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure what I'm going to be playing next because we already finished Stray. We've got a little bit of time before new games release, so I'm not sure what I'm going to be streaming at. I will let you guys know, obviously, on Thursday when I've decided. If you have any suggestions in the Discord server, go in, leave your suggestions in the content suggestion tab. Just because right now I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. But yeah, check out the past few days worth of videos, Rings of Power news, the Gamergate, Ruby Rose, Batwoman, One-Up movie, lots of different things, obviously. The X-Men name being erased and them changing the X-Men to the Mutants. But yeah, thank you for the donations, for the support, for being here. Next stream will be on Thursday. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.